Hello and welcome to CDO Magazine's interview series. My name is Carlos Cruz and I'm one of the data and analytics practice leads for Centric Consulting. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Luis Velandia, Chief Data and Analytics Officer at Best Doctors Insurance. So nice to see you again, Luis.
Thanks, Carlos, for having me.
Shall we get right into it?
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk a little bit about big topic today, implementing modern data or modern cloud frameworks. So modern cloud frameworks, huge topic, right? Ranges from things like virtual desktops to cloud storage, web modernization, data transformation, so on and so forth. Can you tell me a little bit how you have found success in acting tactically on pieces of that framework while thinking strategically about the entirety of the cloud framework?
Yeah, no, thanks, Carlos. And I think it's a great question. So, look, I believe that the key to success consists of, aligning each tactical initiative with the overarching goals of the organization. So what I mean by this is storing data in the cloud or, even locally should be, based on specific use cases for each business. And of course, the importance of analyzing factors, such as information security, legality, related to the physical location of the company, local legislation and maintenance cost is super, super critical. Obviously, this decision is also, influenced by considerations regarding, the backups, data processing, and the massive, nature of information. I also believe that you need to focus on key things like scalability, data integration and data transformation, so that this strategic approach ensures that every tactical decision contributes cohesively to the broader objectives of the cloud transformation. So, Carlos, in the end, if we combine the strategic foresight with the tactical implementation, organizations can build like a modern cloud framework that not only meets immediate needs but also evolves to address future challenges and opportunities like AI. And of course, that one of my key messages is that you need to regularly assess the strategic vision and adjust tactical approaches accordingly, to make sure that the long-term success is going to be, very, very positive. So in summary, I believe that the detailed, evaluation is important to determine the suitability of the cloud for each situation and considering the factors that I initially mentioned.
Fantastic. Playing off of that a little bit, when it comes to modernization to the cloud, what are your thoughts or experiences around either or versus both and all? Meaning like Azure versus AWS versus GCP, etc.
The choice for cloud modernization involves, key factors. Of course, the cloud strategy, whether it is multi-cloud for redundancy and flexibility, or like single cloud for simplified management, I think it plays a crucial role. The assessment of specific service offerings, costs, integration with the existing infrastructure, which is super important, geographical presence, things like vendor lock-in risk, and considerations of like security and compliance are essential elements. So in addition to this, I think support is important. The ecosystem, innovation, along with the SLAs, I think they actually help to make an informed decision. So if we talk about AWS, Azure, or GCP, based on my experience, of course, they offer powerful cloud services, and each caters to specific use cases. So AWS, has the global reach and a wide service offering, which is ideal for diverse applications. Azure excels in seamless integration with the Microsoft ecosystem and strong security features, making it, I believe, like a top choice for enterprises. And GCP's expertise in data analytics, Kubernetes, and high performance networking. I think makes it attractive for data driven and containerized applications. So I do believe, Carlos, that choosing the right provider depends on understanding the specific needs, performance, and costs.
Fantastic. So Luis, you mentioned now cost being huge component of any decision when it comes to modern cloud frameworks. And it remains a top concern for IT executives. What have you seen as the most effective way to maximize cloud benefit while also managing costs?
Carlos, I do believe that to effectively maximize benefits while managing costs. I think there are several strategies and best practices which, based on my experience, can be implemented. So I'm referring to things like optimizing IT resources, like obviously these resources involves aligning them with the actual needs of the workload, and therefore preventing like over provisioning deficiencies. The other one is like committing to specific resources long term at a lower cost that on demand instances, which we know is very expensive, right? Paying only to the resources consumed during the execution, eliminating costs associated with inactive resources, which is especially beneficial for what we call like sporadic workloads. And also like regularly evaluating and managing storage usage, removing unused data, and employing efficient storage like methods. I think those for me are super important. But I think one of the key messages here, Carlos, is it's important to use the tools provided by the cloud service providers and third-party solutions to identify spending patterns and optimize necessary areas.
Yeah, thank you. Much in line, the whole conversation so far with a lot of things we experienced. So thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to switch gears a little bit. Talk about another fun topic, actually probably more fun, right? Data storytelling and effective communication. Data is a hot topic and getting hotter. But really, data is only as good as your ability to use it to make or influence business decisions, right? How do you help people understand data and use it to tell better or more informed stories with data?
Carlos, I think it is clear, and it's a very important topic, and I really like this one. It is clear that the success of data, lies in the ability to use it for informed, business decisions. In other words, data is only as valuable as the business success it creates. So from my experience, Carlos, and in the areas of data storytelling and effective communication, which are very related, I think it is crucial to tailor the narrative to the audience. You need to simplify complex data with clear visualization. So it means that you need to declutter your diagrams or charts. You need to tell compelling stories. You need to provide context. You need to foster interaction, and use data to support your actionable insights and sometimes your intuition, right? But Carlos, let me just reflect for a minute here about what is the difference between an insight and intuition. And the reason is because these are terms people sometimes tend to get confused about. So insight is an unexpected shift in the way we understand things, or it is the discovery of new patterns. And intuition basically uses patterns that have been already learned. So that's kind of the main difference. But in the end, or the main purpose of data storytelling is about driving value from analytics with a data story. How do you connect to the audience, creating insights which will create impact, like more revenue, better productivity, cost reduction. So that's super important. So essentially, storytelling can further amplify the power of your numbers, providing an engaging narrative that connects the dots for your audience and compels them to act. Because remember, Carlos, always, or when you're making a presentation to a specific audience, you need to make sure you understand your audience, you understand what are the messages you want to get across, or the actionable insights you want to share with the audience. Because at the end, those people that the people that you have as part of the audience, they are the ones who will take that information with them after the session, and they will make decisions, they will take action. So that's super important, because when they do that, that's where when finally value is going to be materialized. But again, from my point of view, Carlos, something important to mention here is that data storytelling is a skill that requires practice. It's not something that you're going to learn overnight. I feel that I learn something new every time I make a presentation using data stories. Every time I do that, I learn something. So my message here is, the continuous improvement and feedback are key to providing the best results in the presentations, to improve the skill of telling impactful and effective stories with data. And that's what I normally do, or what I normally encourage my teams to do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time today, sharing your expertise with the CDAO magazine community, and sharing some insights from your own personal experiences. So much appreciated. Please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. And once again, thank you, Luis.
Thank you, Carlos, and have a nice one.